My name is Lily, and I want to share something important with you. It's about learning English, speaking it confidently, and how it changed my life. Let's begin with a memory of mine, something that made me want to improve my English. I was in school, and one day, our teacher asked me to read something out loud. My heart was beating fast. I stood up, holding the paper in my hands, but I was scared. My English was not good. As I started reading, I made mistakes. I could see the other kids looking at me, and I felt tears in my eyes. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. After class, I ran to the bathroom and cried. I didn't know how to make it better. But that day, something changed. I made a promise to myself. I would learn English. I would become better, no matter how hard it was. I wanted to speak English so well that no one could laugh at me again. I remember sitting in my room, trying to read simple words. Apple ball cat and more. It felt hard at first, but I didn't stop. I wrote these words again and again, saying them out loud. My mom saw me and asked, "What are you doing?" Lily, I told her I wanted to be good at English. She smiled and said, "You can do it." One day, I watched a movie in English. It was hard to understand at first, but I kept listening. Slowly, I started catching words. It made me feel happy. I thought, I can learn this. It was like a light of hope for me. I learned that listening to English, even when you don't understand everything, helps a lot. Another thing that helped me was speaking to myself. I would stand in front of the mirror and talk about my day in English. At first, I felt silly, but after some time, it became fun. I would say, "Good morning, Lily." "How are you today then?" I would answer myself. It made me more comfortable with speaking. Slowly, I felt more confident. One day in school, I had to give a presentation. This time I was ready. I stood up in front of the class, took a deep breath, and started speaking. I didn't make it perfect, but I tried my best. After I finished, the teacher smiled at me and said, "Good job, Lily." My heart felt warm. That moment, I realized that all my hard work was paying off. Learning English isn't just about speaking it. It's about practice, and it's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake I made helped me get better. I remember writing down new words I didn't know. I would use them in sentences and repeat them to myself. It was like building a little English world around me. There was a time when I felt alone. One of my friends, Sarah, moved to another country, and we couldn't talk much because of the language. I felt sad, but I knew that if I improved my English, I could send her messages and speak to her again. I practiced writing emails to her in English. It wasn't perfect, but she understood and we became close again. Then there was a day I had a fight with my best friend. I didn't know how to express myself well in English, and I couldn't explain why I was upset. I cried alone that night, thinking that maybe if I spoke better English, I could tell her what I felt. That thought pushed me harder to learn. One special thing I did was reading books in English. I started with simple stories, then moved to bigger ones. Reading helped me understand how sentences are made. I would underline words I didn't know and check their meaning. This way, I grew my vocabulary. Another tip I want to share is watching cartoons. They are easy to understand, and the characters speak clearly. This helped me understand pronunciation and how to say words the right way. Cartoons were fun, and learning with fun makes everything easier. I also learned that speaking with people helps. If you have someone who speaks English, try to have small conversations with them. Don't be shy or afraid. Even if you make mistakes, it's okay. It's the only way to get better. When I talked with my English-speaking friends, I learned new ways to say things. It made me feel smarter. One time, I met a girl named Emily. She was shy too, but she spoke English very well. We became friends, and she helped me with my English. She would listen when I tried to speak and correct me if I was wrong. Having someone to practice with made a big difference for me. I remember my teacher once told me, "Lily, learning a language is like climbing a mountain. Every step you take brings you closer to the top. Don't stop climbing." I kept that in my heart. When things got tough, I reminded myself of that mountain. I knew I had to keep going. Another time, I was at a store, and the person at the counter spoke to me in English. Before, I would have been scared, but this time, I answered back with confidence. It felt amazing to be understood and to understand them. English had become my friend, not my enemy. One day, my cousin came to visit from the US. She spoke only English. At first, I was nervous to talk to her, but then I remembered everything I had learned. We talked for hours, and I felt proud. I was finally using English in real life, and it worked. I also learned that music helps. I love listening to English songs. I would look up the lyrics and sing along. This improved my pronunciation and made learning more fun. I learned new words through songs, and it didn't feel like studying at all. Sometimes, I still feel nervous when I speak English, but now I know that it's okay to feel that way. It's a part of the learning process. Each day, I get a little better. Each day, I feel a little stronger. There's a quote I love. "Practice makes perfect. I don't need to be perfect now, but I know that with practice, I can improve." English has opened so many doors for me. It helped me connect with people from different countries, and it made me more confident. There's still so much to learn, and that's the exciting part. Every day, I discover new words, new ways to express myself, and I know you can do it too. Just take one step at a time and don't give up. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel nervous.